This past week, the city promoted Tabitha Sharp to the position of Assistant City Manager. This position will be responsible for overseeing many administrative functions, such as human resources, the finance department, as well as our public information outlets, and will also be charged with doing special projects assigned by the city manager. The position is a promotion, as Tabitha was previously the administration director, and now this position will give her a little bit more authority and a little bit more responsibility within the organization. So we appreciate her for her service and look forward to her continuing in this new role.
Hi, I'm Tabitha Sharp. I'm the new Assistant City Manager, Finance Director for the City of El Dorado. I am looking forward to this new challenge and the opportunity to have a greater impact on my community. I look forward to seeing you all.
This past Monday, the City Commission took action on a number of different things. There's one item on there that I want to kind of pull out and explain just a little bit to avoid any confusion. The City Commission passed an ordinance adopting a 1-cent sales tax. And you might step back and say, wait, what's going on? Another sales tax? Not exactly. According to state law, following an election adopting a sales tax, the City Commission or governing body of the municipality must adopt an ordinance ratifying the sales tax. In other words, the sales tax cannot go into effect unless and only if the City Commission finally approves an ordinance after, obviously, an affirmative vote approving the sales tax by voters. So, in other words, the ordinance that was approved on Monday is just finalizing that process, and now that ordinance will be sent to the state, where the sales tax will go into effect, or continue rather, on October 4th of 2024. So citizens won't really see anything change in terms of their sales tax receipts. They'll go to the point of sale, pay for their item just as they normally would, and that 1-cent sales tax will continue until and only if it's changed in the future. Again, we'd like to thank all of our voters who turned out to support the city in that sales tax vote, and we look forward to continuing to invest in our community with the proceeds from that sales tax, which over the last several years has been about $3 million. We'll continue to look for projects to utilize those funds for the benefit of our community. A few weeks ago, the Planning Commission conducted a public hearing regarding a proposed special use permit proposed by Butler Homeless Initiative for a shelter to be located at the corner of Central and Taylor. This building would be used as a homeless shelter to serve those folks who are presently in a situation where they do not have a home. The Planning Commission conducted the public hearing, and after hearing from various individuals, voted 7-1 to deny the special use permit. The next step in that process is that recommendation goes to the City Commission, and the City Commission will have the opportunity to review that and determine whether or not they are going to affirm the Planning Commission's recommendation to deny, or whether or not they will override it, or whether or not they will send it back to the Planning Commission for further review. As a matter of process, I thought I would take a moment to briefly explain to the public what this looks like moving forward. Next Wednesday, the City Commission will conduct a work session, and the purpose of this work session is to provide an opportunity for staff to provide an overview of the proposed special use permit and to answer any questions the City Commission may have. This is a normal process with respect to most agenda items the City Commission has, and provides an opportunity for an informal review of agenda items so that the City Commission can get their questions answered prior to the meeting. On then the following Monday, December 18th, the City Commission will convene in a regular meeting where they will then review the facts and determine the next course of action. Again, the three options before the City Commission on this item is to affirm the Planning Commission's decision or recommendation to deny the special use permit, override the Planning Commission's decision, or send it back to the Planning Commission for further review. Again, the City Commission will take that action on their December 18th meeting. We've been getting a lot of questions with respect to will the public have an opportunity to make comments or engage with the City Commission with respect to this matter. While the City Commission can decide whether or not to allow public comment at the work session, as a general rule, work sessions are designed so that the City Commission can get the information from staff and really just have an informal review of the item. It's not necessarily designed for public comments, although again the City Commission may allow them at their discretion. So there should not be an expectation that the public will have an opportunity to speak at that meeting. On the Monday meeting, the regular meeting, there is an opportunity for public comment at the beginning of the meeting, although generally the City Commission does not allow public comments on items that are agended at this point in the meeting. They do have the option of providing or opening, rather allowing public comment when that agenda item comes up at their discretion. It is important to note, however, that the land use process, the public hearing takes place at the Planning Commission level. This is important for a couple of reasons. The Planning Commission is the body that is charged with creating a recommendation concerning land use decisions for the City Commission's review and consideration. It's important for the public to provide any comments or information, facts that they would like the City Commission to review in that public hearing that's conducted by the Planning Commission. And this is so that, number one, the process can be done so that all parties that are interested in that issue can partake in that public hearing and understand and hear what everyone is having to say. The other reason is because we don't want folks to circumnavigate, as the case may be, the Planning Commission and just go to the City Commission. The process is designed for a reason, and we're encouraging folks to consider that as land use decisions come up. So behind me are some of our new fleet vehicles that will soon be hitting the streets of El Dorado. I want to take a brief moment to kind of explain what's happening, because I know there'll be a lot of people that will have comments about the new vehicles. The first thing to note is that the city did not buy these vehicles. While they are new, we've entered into a new agreement with Enterprise Leasing, which will allow us to lease the vehicles at a significantly reduced cost to citizens of El Dorado. So instead of buying the vehicles, we're leasing them, and that allows us to get a whole lot more vehicles for our dollar. This is important for a couple reasons. Number one, vehicles are a primary tool that we use to provide services to the public. And good working vehicles allow us to reduce maintenance costs and also service disruptions when we can keep our employees on the street with good working equipment. Secondly, by leasing, we're actually able, as I mentioned earlier, to get more vehicles for the price of the same amount that we were getting on an annual basis replacing them with ownership. So because we're not owning them, we also reduce our maintenance costs, and the vehicles are under warranty, so if they do break, we will have the opportunity to get them fixed at no cost as well. Ultimately, when we looked at leasing, we determined that it was going to be a better solution for the city's fleet and for taxpayers. Finally, the last thing we have this week is an update on our El Dorado Plaza mural project. So if you go down to the El Dorado Mural Plaza, which if you don't know where that's at, it's right across the street from Willie's. You'll notice that the second mural is currently being painted on the west side of the building, and it's a great image of the state of Kansas. You'll want to get down there and check that out. It's obviously not done yet. And once it's done, we will have a ribbon cutting ceremony shortly after that to commemorate both of our great murals that have been painted, and will add a little bit of color to the downtown area. Well, that's all we got for this week. Everybody have a safe and enjoyable weekend, and we'll see you next week on Things to Know.